Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Tuesday. It is live here, and I thought I'd change it up a little bit and go down by my office, down by the bar downstairs where we have good lighting. So hopefully that you can see me okay and hear me okay. And we are going to talk today about there is no such thing as a good excuse. So how many times have you come up with excuses and you think that that you're trying to imprint it in your brain that everything is going to be okay. I'll just put the little ticker tape across the bottom, and hopefully you can see that okay. My hair's falling out. And then I'll just get the comments up here. So if you're jumping on here for the very first time, there's a link up above that says StreamYard, because I'm using a third-party software here to come at you live today. And you just have to give it permission. Usually the first time you come, sometimes you might have to do it again, might kick you out, but usually the first time you come to my page and come on and want to come on live with me, you just have to give it permission so that I can see who you are and see your little profile picture pop up on my screen. So that's all that is about. So if we truly want to be healthier, then we have no business being around the food that doesn't fit in our lifestyle. Now that sounds simple enough, but that's a reality check that we have to put in front of ourselves and realize that we just can't be around some of those temptations and some of those things that tempt us. So we are going to dive a little deeper into that today, and I'm getting all this information from this wonderful little book here. It says The Emotional Eater's Book of Inspiration by Deb Danowski, and there's 90 truths you need to know to overcome your food addiction. And today is day 11 of the 90 days of the different chapters that I'm going to share with you. So if we have not met before, my name is Heather Edmondson, as it says right there. And I am coming at you live today at lunchtime here in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. And I'm downstairs in the basement where it's nice and cool because it's going to be another hot one today. And I help others, assist them to achieve their health and fitness goals by beating sugar cravings, helping them with coaching and mentoring and accountability. So if that sounds something that you'd like a little bit of help with, by all means, reach out to me and we will have a chat, and we will hopefully get you on the road to a healthier you. So if there was a stove in front of us or a fire in front of us, would we put our hand out there and put it in the fire? No, I don't think so. So why do we think it's okay to be around the food that is going to tempt us or trick us into eating it or putting it in our mouth? We need to remove ourselves from those situations and try and negotiate or navigate around situations where those kind of foods are going to come in contact with us. It's easier to control your own environment, especially in your own home. But say you're going into an office space or a workspace, if you're allowed to go to work in a workspace, and the boss brings in cookies and coffee or cake, somebody's birthday or things like that is going on, and they're like, come on into the staff room, we're going to have some cake and cookies, and you know that just doesn't sit well with you, and that you have a hard time saying no to things when they are put in front of your face. So we have to think of a different way of setting up those situations, and think of a different way of how we're going to handle those situations. So you can handle it if you without being rude. You can politely say to them that maybe you will bow out of that little birthday celebration. You can go in and sing happy birthday to that person, but you know that you just can't stick around when the cake is actually being passed out. And then you're going to say to yourself, well, I can handle it just this time. So that those excuses creep in that I have talked about before on some of my lives. We try and convince ourselves that it's the lies that we tell ourselves that, oh, it's okay to be around it just this time, or I can handle it this time, and it's not going to affect me. But we need to be real here, and we need to give ourselves a reality check and say, I'm too weak with that right now. I don't have the strength to be around it. So we need to remove ourselves from that situation. And then you're not setting yourself up for failure, and you're not setting yourself up to say, oh man, I was being good all day. And then I went in the staff room and they had this wonderful, delicious Black Forest cake or carrot cake and all this melty cream cheese icing on it, and it's just my favorite, and I just couldn't resist. One little bite's not going to hurt, and then you end up having another bite, and then you end up having a whole piece of cake, and then when everybody's left the office, you go back in there and you sneak back in there and you have a second piece of cake. So I love carrot cake just as much as the next person, and I love Black Forest cake and things like that, but I know they are my weakness, and I just try and avoid them. So we have to get that mindset that all that white sugar and flour in that is actually poisoning our system. So it's just like, I'm a nurse, so we tell diabetics that they have to eat in a certain way. So, and a lot of them are good with it, and then there's others that aren't. So the ones that are struggling with it are people that are saying, well, I can't give up sugar, and I can't give up all of those sweets that I've been doing. Just fix me. I just want to be fixed. But they don't want to take responsibility for the actions that they are doing, and the things that they are putting in their mouth. They just want somebody to fix them. But you are the only one that is in control of you, and you are the only one that can make the choices that are going to move yourself forward and make yourself be successful in either in business or in life, or with a new and healthy eating habits. I'm not going to call it a diet, because it's actually a way of life. You're going to have to change your way of life and your way of thinking, and become a healthier you in your body, and don't poison it with all these additives of preservatives or sugars or lots of salt or high fat. We just need to be aware that we want to keep things in the most natural state possible, and that is the best way for our body to absorb it and make use of it, and use that for energy. Fuel is your energy source, so we want to make sure that the best fuel is going in, the high premium fuel is going in your tank. We sometimes develop bad relationships with our food. We get emotional when we spend time with it. It's like a whoopee or a blanket, you could call it. I don't know if any of you guys any of you people have watched Mr. Mom back in the day. His little daughter had a whoopee, and it was a blanket that she took everywhere, and she called it a whoopee. So that's where I'm getting that little quote from, is Mr. Mom, and he had to find a way of getting his daughter to give up her whoopee. So we have to find what our trigger is, and we need to give up that little thing, the safety blanket or safety jacket or life jacket that you're hanging on to move past the thing that is getting in the way of you, the food that is triggering you, the high sugar or high salt or high fat things that always you think taste so good, and then you have it and you're like, well, it didn't really taste that good, and now I've eaten 500 or 600 calories worth of this not so good food choice, and then you start beating yourself up. We can sometimes develop, like I said, this relationship with the food, that it is your safety net or your safety blanket or your little teddy bear that you carry around, and it gives you an emotional high when you have that food, because you're thinking it's soothing the actual whatever is the real problem that you're trying to cover up, whether it's an emotional breakup or somebody's spoken harshly to you and they've hurt your feelings, and you're using food to comfort yourself with that, like I said, like a safety net or a safety blanket with your food. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to get the emotional highs that you get by spending time with that food. You don't want it to be associated with the same kind of feelings that you have when you spend time with a loved one, or with other people that are near that you love in your life. You don't want the food to become your best friend or your lover or your confidant, because that's what this food can end up being. Like I said, it's like a safety blanket or a safety net or a life jacket, a life preserver that they throw out there for you. Because when you have that food, then it becomes your best friend, and you talk to it, and it soothes the pain, that whatever situation that you're in and that you're having at the moment, it comforts that pain. But then on the flip side, then you start beating yourself up and feeling awful about you having that food, and it's just a vicious circle. So unlike our relationships with people, being around these foods that give us our triggers can be very dangerous. So we need to not be in the line of fire, not set ourselves up for sabotage or self-destruct. Don't expose ourselves to the things that are going to harm us, those foods that are going to harm us. Like I said, it's very easy to control the food that is in your immediate environment, in your own home, but it's when you go out and are around other people or in other people's homes that it can cause the most anguish or defeat or sabotage of your whole day. If you've done well all day and then you end up going into a situation like that, then you become weak and then you just break down. So don't just sit around and watch other people when they have their high calorie or dessert or high sugar dessert. We need to flip it and think of it in a different way so that we can let them enjoy their high calorie dessert, and just know that you don't want to make them feel bad for having that choice or choosing to eat that cake. It's just something that you and I are not going to choose to eat or put in our body. So especially don't make them feel bad. I have a little suggestion that you might want to try is to actually get up and leave the table when you know that dessert is going to be served. If you're in a restaurant and you know that dessert is going to be coming, maybe get up and go to the restroom and actually remove yourself from that situation. And then, well, you can go to the restroom too. If you're in somebody's home, you can get up and leave and go to the bathroom as well. Or you can maybe try going into the kitchen and starting the dishes, or go out and walk around the block. Maybe get down on the floor and play with the little ones while the other people are having their dessert. Maybe the adults want to have a little bit of quiet time, and maybe you can go and entertain the kids while they are enjoying their dessert. It doesn't really matter what you do in that situation. It's just you have to physically remove yourself from the table where all of this stuff is going to be served, because you know that's when you're going to be at your weakest point. Let's be real and realize your limitations. We can't always be strong all of the time, and work with it. Like I said, get up and move around, even if it's just to walk down the hall or walk around the house outside, or go out and walk around the block, or like I said, play with the kids. Just remove yourself from that situation, from that temptation. And sometimes that's just enough to make your brain shift into another gear and realize that, okay, this is too much of a temptation for me, and I'm going to do something different with my mind. I'm going to challenge it in a different way, and I'm going to really try hard with this. But like I said, it's like setting. Do you remember going to your grandmother's house and there being those nice crystal pinwheel dishes on the table, and they would have a fancy lid that was too heavy for you to lift, but it would be full of candies, and you would so want to have some of those candies. So it's like putting that temptation in front of you and saying, oh, no, you can't touch that. Putting that cake or that ice cream or whatever dessert it is, the high calorie, high fat dessert, high sugar dessert, that is teasing you and tempting you. If you don't have it right, staring you right in the face, then you're not going to maybe want to reach for it as easily as maybe it being removed and put away in the fridge at that person's house, or in a restaurant, them packaging it up so those other people in your group can take it home. So today's challenge that I'm going to throw out there for you is to make a plan to get up and walk away from the table if they're going to serve dessert. If they're going to go for ice cream, go along with them, but you don't have to stand in the lineup to get the ice cream, and you can still converse with your family or friends or whoever it is, social distancing, of course, in place. But yeah, you can still enjoy some of those moments with your family and stuff. You just don't have to be having it shoved right in your face and right in that situation. So you'll be amazed at how well this will work if you just implement it and put it into place. And I challenge you to try that out and let me know how that works out for you. So if you are interested in having any of the recipes that I have, I do have some PDFs that I can send out to you. My update on the fitness challenge and weight loss challenge that I'm participating in, this is the beginning of week 2. Well, actually, it's been 15 days, so we're going into week 3. And the scale only says that I've lost 6 pounds, but according to my measurements, have lost over 5 inches all over. So like I had mentioned before, you can't always go by what the scale says. It could be how much you've had fluid in the day, how much water you've retained. It could be you maybe haven't emptied out your system completely and you haven't gone to the bathroom and emptied that out. So it could be your colon is all full of all that waste. So don't always go by the number on the scale. Go by how your clothes feel and are fitting, and make sure whenever you start a program, take your measurements, and then you can have a better gauge of how you were doing. Like I said, by the way your clothes are fitting, and measurements on your tape measure, as compared to, pardon me, as compared to the actual weight on the scale. Look at how much more energy you might have. I have lots of energy. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more hydrated because I am drinking more water to flush all the toxins out of my system. So I just thought I would give you the positive update there, and that things are going well. If you'd like to participate in the next fitness and weight loss challenge that my e-commerce company is putting on, that I'm with, the next one starts on August 17th. And I can provide you with some information to move forward with that. And also, if you want to move your business forward into the next step in your business, live video is where it's at. Just like me going live here in front of all of you guys. By 2022, 90 or 95% of all of your stuff that you are going to see in social media will be in video format. So get on board now when you can learn, and it's a little bit more favorable environment, and there's not so many people doing it, that you'll be doing something different, and that your audience will grow and learn with you. So if you want some more information about that, that starts on August 19th till September 10th, and that's my mentor that I'm following, Helen Martin, and that's her 21-day video challenge. So I will put the link below, and then the doors are open for that, so you can actually register and get in for that. And it's free. So she gives us topics to talk about every day, and she gives us a little bit of challenges to get us out of our comfort zone, because when we're comfortable, we don't grow. So we need to all grow and expand our minds and expand our confidence in ourselves, and take the bull by the horns and do something different with our life. Hopefully you've got some value from that today. Thank you everyone for popping on here with me and sharing some of your day with me. I will be back tomorrow. Will give you, I'll send out a notification. If you want to get the notifications of when I'm going live, tap on the 3 buttons, the 3 little dots at the top of this video, and you can set to turn on the notifications, and then you will get a notification every time that I'm going to go live. I might go on a little bit later, because I might take a chance to go out and watch my little 1-year-old grandson do his swimming lessons, and it's right at the same time that I'd be going live. So I will let you know, guys, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, whatever time of the day it is for you, and ciao. Bye-bye for now.